So today I'm going to be doing an eyeliner tutorial, as if you hadn't guessed by the title, and also by my completely wonky eyes. So this video is going to be split into 3 different chapters. So you have the option of skipping ahead to whatever chapter you actually want to watch if you don't want to sit through the whole video. If you do want to sit through the whole video though, yay, good for you. You're totally my favorite. So the first chapter is definitely for the complete beginners out there. So I'm just going to be talking about different types of eyeliners and what each type, like what kind of effect each type will give you. The second chapter is going to be how to create this kind of a look. So using pencil to create like a smudgy, smoky eye. Again, great for beginners if you're not used to using eyeliner because it's really forgiving. And then the third chapter is going to be this look. So that kind of flick using gel eyeliner, or you can do exactly the same thing with liquid liner, same technique. So if you want to watch the full video, yay. If not, you can click whatever section you want to skip to by hitting one of the buttons down here. So I'm just gonna give you a minute to make your selection. Okay, I'm gonna take it that you want to watch the video. So enjoy. Okay, so the first type of eyeliner I'm going to talk about is a pencil. I think everybody pretty much knows what an eyeliner pencil is. Pretty self-explanatory. There are a few different types of pencils. This is a Kohl pencil, so K-O-H-L. Anytime you see Kohl written on a pencil, that usually means that they're very soft. So they're great for doing smudgy, smoky kind of lines, generally not the most long lasting. A pencil is probably the best thing to start off with if you're an absolute complete beginner, just because, you know, you're probably used to holding a pen or a pencil. It's exactly the same type of technique. You don't have to relearn how to do anything. And also if you make a mistake, very, very easy to smudge out. So, you know, you can just make it look like a soft smudgy line and pretend that's what you were going for in the first place. Next, there's liquid liner, and these again come in all different types. This is one of the MAC Super Slick pencil or liquid liners, and it's got a foam kind of tip. Some of them have brushes, some of them are like felt tip. I find liquid liner probably the most difficult to use. Just it's very, very unforgiving. If you make a mistake, it's very easy to see and very difficult to clean up. You do get the most graphic line though, so for that really vintage 50s pin-up look, liquid liner is amazing. It's the most definite line that you'll see. Next, this is a cake eyeliner. This is one of the Benefit Babe cakes. I think these are actually discontinued. They're probably not the most popular type of eyeliner. So the idea is that you wet them. You can get mixing mediums and stuff to make it a little bit more waterproof. This is just water. And then you mix it. So the advantage of it is you can mix it to whatever consistency you like. So if you like your eyeliner to be really, really opaque, you'd use less water or really mix it through. If you want it to be a little bit more opaque, you could, you know, have a little bit more watered down. These are great for doing very kind of artistic, creative eyeliners because you can constantly have a nice fluidy, wet stream of product. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is gel, and gel I think is probably one of the most popular formulas that's out now. It's the newest formula as well. So gel, it's kind of like a hybrid. I feel like it's a hybrid between pencil and liquid in that it's more solid than a liquid, more creamy than a pencil. You do have to put it on with a brush. It's just the easiest one to control, so it doesn't run as much as liquid does. You won't end up with it like running into your eyes or anything like that. It sets waterproof, although I find not quite as long lasting as liquid. And you also have the option of smudging it before it dries, so you do have kind of playtime with them. And you can use them in your waterline as well. So for this, I'm using MAC's Smolder pencil, which, as I said earlier on, is a Kohl pencil, which means it's really, really soft, which means that it's smudgeable. So that's great in that you can smudge it yourself if you want to do a smoky eye, but it also means it doesn't last that long. So if you wanted, you could use a waterproof eye pencil like the Urban Decay 24/7 liners are great. The only thing about them is you have to work really quickly with them because they stay creamy for a few seconds, but then they set and then you can't blend them. So if you do want to smudge them out, you have to work quickly. But this is what I'm going to be using anyway. So before you even start to apply the eyeliner, you just have to make sure that you have positioned yourself in an ideal way to give yourself the best chance of not shaking. So make sure you're sitting down in a comfortable chair. If you can at all, put your mirror further down than your face, if that makes sense. So you have to tilt back. You have to look down into your mirror. That'll give you a lot more space to work with basically on the lid. You'll be able to see what you're doing an awful lot more. Also, you want to make sure that you anchor your elbow on a table, on a tabletop, just to keep your arm steady. And also you'll see when I'm actually applying the liner, I try and anchor my hand on my face, so I'll use like my little finger or something like that, just to kind of balance my hand so I'm not coming in and I'm shaking all over the place. It just means that I can keep my hand an awful lot steadier. I've seen a lot of people do this when I've given lessons and stuff like that. I think the gut reaction is to take your skin and stretch it out like this, because obviously holding your skin taut like that, it makes it a little bit easier to draw on, but don't do it. Do not do it. Because as soon as you let go of the skin, it all bunches back in together, and whatever lovely smooth line you've created just looks all wonky and weird and bumpy, so don't do it. If you do need to kind of pull your skin a little bit more taut, you can lift it this way. So pull it upwards, and that also gives you a little bit more space if you just want a very, very thin line along your lash line. Just whenever the skin falls back into place, it doesn't end up bunching and causing weird wavy lines. So I'm coming in, I'm holding the pencil quite long, so I'm almost holding it right at the very end of the pencil. Just resting my finger on my hand, and then just starting by kind of dotting it in at the roots of the lashes. It's really important to get it as close to your lash line as you possibly can, because there really is nothing worse than seeing like a gap, seeing that bit of skin between your eyeliner and your lashes. So just make sure you get it right in there. And to be honest, at this stage, don't worry about creating like a perfect line. You just want to make sure that bit's filled in first. Then you come in here. You want to make sure you get it into that waterline on the inside corner, because again, that just looks, it just looks unfinished if you don't do that. Okay, so now you've basically got, you know, you've got the lashes filled in, the lash line filled in. Now you can kind of go back and make sure that it's a nice tidy line. Like you're just doing it in little small stroking motions. You're never going to be able to do it in one continuous stroke, so don't even attempt it. So for this part, I'm actually holding the pencil a little bit more. I'm holding it more horizontal, whereas when I was getting in at the roots of the lashes, I was holding a little bit more vertical. I was coming up like this. And then if you want, you can take a little angle brush, just with nothing on it, and just kind of stroke over the top, and that'll just smooth the pencil out. And with an angle brush, you always pull it in the direction of the short hairs. So when I'm coming from the inside corner out, the short hairs are facing my outside corner, so they're going in that direction. And then when I come from the outside corner in, I just flip the brush around so that it's going in the right direction. So I usually like to have a bit of a flick on my eyeliner, just I prefer the shape it gives my eye. So if I was to do a flick with pencil, I wouldn't actually draw the flick in with pencil. I would use my angle brush, and just whatever product is left on my brush, just kind of drag that out. Just because pencils, a lot of the time, the nib is too thick to give you that point. It's very hard to do a very precise flick with a pencil. And you can always go back with the pencil if you want to intensify it. So now if you wanted to create like a really easy bit of a smoky eye, what I would do is just line your waterline. And don't forget to line your top waterline. I find the easiest way to do this is actually just kind of angle the pencil upwards and close my eye, because I'm absolutely terrible at doing it with my eye open. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the pencil and just work it into the lashes on the lower lash line, but mostly on that outside corner, so kind of stop that about where my pupil is. And then I'm going to take a cotton tip. You could use a pencil brush if you had a pencil brush as well. I'm just going to try and keep things nice and simple though. And just smudge that in. Just connect that line on the lower lash line to the flick on the top. Now if you wanted to, you could leave it at that if you wanted to keep your top lid that bit cleaner, but I'm going to smoke my top lid up a little bit. So I'm just going to put another line on, another line of product, just exactly over where the original one was. I just wanted to have a little bit more product to pull up, and then just go back into the Q-tip again. And just little strokes. I'm just going over the edge of the pencil and kind of pulling it up and out. Then you can use the clean end of the Q-tip just to wipe away if you've kind of smudged a little bit too far. And then just because it's pencil and it's creamy and it's a Kohl pencil like I was explaining earlier, it is going to smudge and it is probably going to like smear a little bit, which if that's the look you're going for, if you're going for that real rock and roll grungy eye, all power to you, it looks awesome. But if you want it to last a little bit longer, you could just set it with a little bit of eyeshadow. And to do that, I'm going to use Wedge by MAC, which is just a, like you can kind of see it on the outside here, it's like a neutral mid-tone brown, no shimmer or anything in it. And I'm just going to dust it basically over everything. But when I'm putting it over the eyeliner, I'm just very lightly dabbing. And just that powder of the eyeshadow will absorb any excess oil, just help it to last a little bit longer. It's not going to be super long lasting, but it'll certainly last a little bit longer. So for the gel liner portion of this, I'm going to be using the Maybelline gel eyeliner, just black one, and I'll be using a MAC 210 eyeliner brush. It's just a fine, pointy kind of liner brush like that. You can also use angle brushes to apply gel liner. I just find them a little bit more difficult to work with, but that's just personal preference. So the first little trick I'm going to show you, you might have already seen on here. I know I have seen other beauty vloggers using this trick, but I thought I would include it in the video just because I think it's a great little tip. It is to use either a flesh colored eye pencil or a white eye pencil to draw in the line first and then just trace over it with your eyeliner. First thing first, we want to get the angle of the line right. So generally a good rule of thumb is to do an angle or to draw your line in the same angle as the angle of your lower lash line. So if you imagined that your lower lash line, that line just continued the whole way up, that's kind of the angle that you want your eyeliner to be. So if you actually start by drawing on the lower lash line and then just bring it up, and you can check and see if that looks about right. So I'm going to take my eyeliner, and actually I should just explain, I've put a little bit of the gel liner on the back of my hand, and you want to take the brush and spin it. So you want to get a lot of product on the brush and just give it a spin like that. So that just means that you're getting any little stray hairs on your brush are all being formed into a point, so you're not getting like splayed hairs all over the place. It's going to mess up your clean line. I'll start off small. Just right above where the line is. And again, I'm not doing one continuous line. It's all about small, manageable lines that you connect at the end. And then you can come back in. Sometimes I start on the inside corner and make my way out. Sometimes I start at the flick and work my way in. It really depends how I'm feeling on the day. There's no right or wrong way to do that. It's whatever way feels right to you. Anchoring my hand. Just pulling across. And again, make sure you get the liner right on that upper waterline on that inside corner. So then once you know that you've gotten your product right in at the roots of the lashes, you can kind of have a look and see, is there anywhere that you need to thicken up or anywhere that you need to smooth over? And I can see that I just need to smooth this transition between the flick. And then once you're happy with your line, you can just take your finger, or you could take like a Q-tip or concealer brush, whatever you want, and just smudge your guideline away. And there you go. No one's the wiser that you cheated a little bit. All right, this next tip is another oldie but a goodie, and it is to use sticky tape. And this is just normal sellotape. I've just stuck it to my pants and kind of ripped it off again just to take away some of the stickiness. So this is a really, really similar idea to the pencil. This is just a little bit more foolproof if you're a total beginner and you really like that sharp line, but you're just not you're a bit wobbly. So what you do is take your sticky tape, you want to kind of take it underneath the lashes on your lower lash line. I would do this before you do your foundation as well, by the way. Again, you're kind of looking for that angle of the lower lash line. You just paint a triangle basically. Once you're happy that you've kind of got it long enough and you're happy with how much you've applied, just very, very gently peel back. And there you go. And then last but not least, this is one of my favorite tricks, and this is one I don't generally use the other two that often, but this one I do use all the time. When I learned this in my first MAC training, I was like, oh my god, mind blown, like amazing trick. So say your flick is just looking a little bit blobby. You know, it's not very pointy, it's gone too thick, or it's coming down too far. Whatever it is, you're not really happy, could be cleaner. What you can do is take some eye makeup remover and a little cotton thingy like this and an angle brush. And it's important, actually, angle brush is important for this. So make sure your angle brush is clean. And the eye makeup remover you want to use is one that's oil free. If it's got oil in it, it's just going to melt all of the makeup away. So this is the Garnier Clean Sensitive one. It's great, it's oil free, it's brilliant for this. So you want to pour some of that into a cotton bud, cotton round thing, and then wet your angle brush. So you're getting a good bit of the product into the angle brush. And then basically you use your angle brush like an eraser. So you want to get it against the edge, apply quite a bit of pressure, and then just pull. And because the angle brush has got a straight edge, it'll pull away in a very, very straight, clean line. And then you can come from the top. Oh, you don't want your angle brush to be too wet. And then apply your pressure and pull. And you can do that however many times you need to. It's just so much more precise than using a cotton tip, and you maintain that nice edge to your line. And then you can just take your concealer and a concealer brush and, you know, just clean up. So I really, really hope you found that useful, guys. I know some of the stuff you might have seen already, some you might not, but I hope you learned something from it anyway. If you've got any tips that you find works really, really well when you put on eyeliner, please let me know in the comments down below, because I'm always looking for new, easier, better ways of doing stuff, and I'm sure everybody else would love to read your advice as well if you have any, so please let me know in the comments. If you would like me to do another eyeliner tutorial, but this time talking about different eyeliner shapes for different eye shapes, like how to kind of adapt the eyeliner for your eye shape, then give this video a thumbs up, and maybe I'll record that next week. Eyeliner is definitely one of the hardest things to do in makeup, and it's the one thing that just about everybody struggles with at some time or another. So if you're struggling with eyeliner, don't feel bad. It's just practice is the only thing. There is no magic formula to it. Just keep practicing and practicing. I actually did an eyeliner like masterclass with one of the MAC senior artists for the UK and Ireland a couple of years ago, and she said that the cleaning up is almost as important as the application. So even MAC senior artists, when they're at like a runway show, they will have their brush, their liner, and like a whole thing of cotton tips ready with eye makeup remover, ready to clean it up to make it look perfect. So when you see something like that on a model, on a runway show, or in a, you know, catalogue or whatever it is in a magazine, and you see like perfect eyeliner, just remember that whoever the makeup artist was, they probably had to spend about half an hour cleaning it up and making sure every line was absolutely perfect. That stuff doesn't happen in like one swift movement. So don't feel bad if you can't do it. You will, just put in a bit of practice and you'll master it in no time, I'm telling you. So yeah, if you did like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, you should subscribe, and we'll see you very soon. Bye!